Welcome back. Okay, card number 4, prize number 4, and it goes to number, all big numbers, number 12. All right, so number 12, call, email, text. You will get these cute summertime charms with brads. They're adorable. Great for summertime cards, even Easter cards, because there's an Easter egg too. So yeah, there you go, number 12. Look at that. Woohoo! Call or email me. Let me know if you're number 12 and I'll get those in the mail to you. You notice the trend to the prizes? They've been flat so I can mail them to you easier. Okay, so the next card is right here. I know. Ooh, all right. Always amazed but never surprised by your thoughtfulness. And when you open it up, the inside is the same way. So lots and lots of stamping on this. Just tells you how much I love you girls that are in Card Club, that I would prep all this work for you. So here we go. So I'm going to show you how we did it, or how I did it. I used this stamp set, Thoughtful Blooms. It is a celebration free with a $50 order, and then it also has a punch that goes with it free with a $50 order. $100 order for the punch, so you get stamp set and punch. Anyway, so those are good till the end of March, and that's what we're using in this stamp set. Okay. You have a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock folded in half, and just set it aside. And you also have your white envelope, and that we're going to stamp here also in a little bit. And then you have two 4 by 5 1/4 pieces of white cardstock. Okay, so to start with the white cardstock, we're going to lay a Tupperware lid on here, and with a pencil I'm going to very lightly draw a backward C, so it will give you that pencil mark. Do you see that? Give you you see the pencil mark there? So you're going to do a very light backward C on this, and of course I've already done that for you, but you know what, for those who like to stamp and copy and make more of what I show you, that's what you do. Okay, so we're going to start with the leaves and the stems and leaves stamp set, stem and leaf stamp set, and Coastal Cabana ink. And I'm going to fill this up. Okay, so from the pencil mark, get in here a little tighter. From the pencil mark, you can see how I'm doing the stems, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's a little all haphazard, but as long as it's from the stem out is how I'm doing this. Okay, and all just a tad different, as I don't want it to be the same. Okay, all right, so now we have one filled. We're going to do the second one filled, and you can make it the same if you want to, or you can change it up a little. You know, the inside and the outside does not have to be alike, but I am turning my block, as you can see, to get the stems here and there and everywhere. Okay, all right, so then I'm gonna fill in with leaves and leaves on the stems as well. Okay, so while I'm filling this in, I have to tell you more about our trip. So the day we get off the ship was Sunday, whatever day it was, doesn't matter. Before all this craziness started, we chose to stay in Fort Lauderdale an extra day, just so we didn't have to mess with the hassle and the craziness of the airport after all the ship got off. And we've done it many a times in the past, and it is a flippin' nightmare. The airport is so crowded. Well, our cheapest flight home was at 7 o'clock at night in the evening, straight through. All the other ones you had to either go to Atlanta or Denver. One was to Denver. I'm like, yeah, let's go across the country. So anyway, we waited, and so we got off the ship around 10. We were at the hotel around 11:30 in the afternoon. And no check-in is until, 3 o'clock or whatever. Well, they let us check in early. They said, because I had booked a queen size or a king size bed, and they said, well, we have a room with a double in it available now, or you can choose to wait until a king is open. And I looked at Bob, I'm like, it's one night. It beats waiting down here for so many hours, because who knows how long it would have been. And so we get up to the room, and that evening we're getting ready for bed and crawl in bed, and I'm going, well, this is a first. I said, our 30th wedding anniversary, we're sleeping in separate beds. So funny. And I said, how ironic is that? We take a cruise to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary, and we end up sleeping in separate beds. So we got a good chuckle out of that. But I thought it was nice that we still got to check in early. We didn't have to wait around, because the next day we had to wait around, all day, and they let us check out at 1 o'clock, which was nice. So we just hung around at the pool, and they had a bar at the pool, and so we just kind of hung around there for a few hours until, let's see, we're there until about 4, and then we took our first Uber. You guys should be so proud of us. Yes, I signed up to get an Uber account while we were in Florida, and we took our first Uber. Super nice guy. He was late 50s, mid 50s, and he drove a Volvo, so it was my first time in a Volvo, and it was beautiful. It was immaculately clean. And he got to talking to us, and he said that 2 weeks prior to, he had just quit his job, and we're like, oh no. But he had been a car salesman for 17 years. He said, it was a great industry to work in, but because of the internet and car sales right now, he said, I was selling obviously he was selling Volvos, because he said I was selling $40,000 cars and only making $50. And he goes, I can't make a living like that. And of course, we sympathized with that. No, that's ridiculous. But because of the internet and all that's going on, people are not paying like they used to pay. So he quit his job, and he's driving an Uber right now as an interim till he found something else, which I thought, I always told my kids, you find a job before you quit your job. But anyway, he may have not had a choice. But so back up, I used the polka dots, and I lined them up with the branch, and I stamped the polka dots, and then I went back and filled in a little bit more dots just to give it a little more filler. And had I had a brain, I would have done this with the envelope as well, added a few fun little dots to the envelope as well, and then I'll add some flowers to it too. Okay, so moving right along with my story. So he's a super nice guy. Our first Uber trip, so that was really good. It would have cost us $16 per person had we taken the shuttle from the Hilton at the marina, which was less than 3 miles from the airport, I think. Yeah, it was less than 3 miles. If we felt like walking, Bob and I could have probably walked it, but I didn't want to pull the bags that far. And then it was like $9 for us to take a Volvo to the airport with a really nice guy. So anyway, we wished him well, and Bob gave him a nice tip, and it was a very nice experience. But yeah, and so then we went to the airport and sat at the airport. So getting into the airport was easy. it took us less than 15 minutes to get in the Uber, get to the airport, check our bags out outside, pay the bellhop $3, walk in, go through the TSA agent stuff, and we were seated waiting for our plane for the next 2.5 hours. It took us 18 minutes. No checking, no hassle, no big crowds, no nothing. Just boom, boom, boom. We were ready to roll. So that was cool. So we sat in a very beautiful atrium at the airport and charged our phones because they hadn't, and caught up on Facebook and things and emails. And let's see, I had over 200 and some emails or better. Unfortunately, those weren't orders, but hey, you can't have everything, right? Okay, so I'm using this teeny little tiny flower, and I am going to stamp red posies here and there on it. Just filling in some of the spots, not all of them, because I'm going to go back and do it with the pink too. Okay, so sounds like somebody's mowing their yard. I think the grass would be too soggy for that. So yeah, so we experienced our first Uber, our first Uber, and we experienced sleeping in separate beds on our 30th wedding anniversary, and we became groupies. So, oh, it's so fun, so fun, so fun. We had, we were not able to get into Fort-de-France. They had closed the port. No. We were able to get into Fort-de-France, but they took our temperature on our way in, and then we were not able to get into St. Kitts, so they rerouted us to St. John, and then overnight St. John closed their port, so we weren't able to get into St. John. But we were in... where do we go? It started with the... okay, it'll come to me. You know, like that last thing I told you would come to me. Oh, for heaven's sakes. We went to the beach one day. We had an excursion, and we went to this, like, bar that had a private beach that rented private, you could have a chair and an umbrella, and then they served you rum punch, which was so good. In Barbados, we were out on Barbados, and I fried. I was so sunburnt, and I was covered, and I sat in the shade, and although I walked the beach all the way down to the pier and back. It was about a mile or more, probably a little more than a mile walk. It was beautiful, so beautiful. So we got to see, because we had to travel through town, we got to see a little bit of the island, and man, it was just run down, poor, a little bit of the town. The nicest buildings was either a church or the banks. And so those were the nicer buildings. So I did the envelope there. And I don't know. I'm glad we went to the beach and that's where we stayed all day because, we were there about 4.5 hours. I basically just stayed near the water, in the sand, or in my chair, and that was it. You had to walk through the bar past all the stuff too. They had some things that you could buy. This one artist, she had her jewelry stand set up there, and it was beautiful. She made handmade art and jewelry, necklaces and earrings and bracelet out of sea glass, and beads and things like that. And it was silver wire wrapped around the sea glass and stuff. Some of the stuff was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I was really impressed with it. But I chose not to buy anything or bring any gifts home from there because I just didn't do it. I couldn't make a decision. There was too many choices. It was all beautiful. I wanted it all, so I got none of it. You know how that goes. But anyway, so I'm stamping the verses there. Okay, so I have that down. Now, I'm going to let that ink dry a little bit before I use the eraser and erase that line away. So while that's drying, I am going to stamp some red posies, and I need 5 of them. You should have 5 in your packet. Okay, and then there's another one. Yeah, little detailed on it. I'm going to do 5 pink. And I'm trying to leave some space because I'm going to punch those out. Okay? Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do though, I'm going to punch some circles. Now your circles are separate. I'm not going to glue yours. So what you'll do is you'll take, and this is the easiest way, put a drop of glue right in the center of all those pink, okay? And then use your pick a tool, and I'm going to pick this end that has the sticky putty. And basically all you do is pick up the putty, pop it onto the center of your flower, just like so. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Uber easy. Alright. Now, while that dries, I am going to very carefully remove my pencil mark. Now, if you find that I have missed some of your pencil mark, be very careful with your eraser. Go find a pencil and you want to erase. See how this one leaves a mark? Even if I've made a pencil mark and erase it, it still leaves the brown and pink ick. So test your eraser first so that you don't leave those icky marks on your card. That's our neighbor leaving. His car doesn't sound too good. Can you hear that running sound? Okay. Alright, so I have all my parts and pieces ready to roll. So I have punched out these flowers for you. And they're in your packet. Okay. I'm just going to do 2 to start with, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do all 10 of them, and I'll pause the video. Alright, so flip this over. Glue. Where'd my glue go? Oh, here it is. Alright, so we're going to glue the back side of this. And this goes on the front of the card. I'm going to make sure that I have my card opening correctly, centering it, okay? And then glue on the next one. Guess I ought to get some glue on there, might hold a little better. And pop this on the inside, okay, like so. Alright, now, pop dots. Where did those go? Man, everything sprouts legs and walks away. Have you noticed that? Alright, so you're just going to pop dot onto a flower and pop dot that flower where it looks right. On the red ones, what I've done is I've taken the Dazzling Diamond Glitter and the two-way glue. Okay, make this easy on myself first. I'm going to add pop dot first, glue, and then sprinkle it with glitter. Tap it off, and then add the red flower. Okay, so what you're going to do is just pop dot those flowers that I sent you and put them all in place. So here's the first one. Okay, and then there's the inside. So you have 2 red, 3 pink, 2 pink, 3 red. You can do them all red on the outside, all pink on the inside, you know, do whatever you'd like. But that was the original design, so, but you can manipulate it however you want to. And then that card goes with the cute envelope. And you're ready to send it. Okay, I'll be back with card number 5. Card number 5. I know it's almost over. This is so much fun doing. I may have to do more of these. You guys have to let me know. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.